It almost happened. I genuinely thought this was going to be the round that I broke it. But before we get into the 18 holes, we need to go back to the start of the week.
The Buster Rhymes, tell them what I did.
Heard you rush and attack. Then they rebuked, then you had to smack. Causing rambunction.
Solo round of 9 holes. Confidence was low. Conditions were even worse. Honestly, I got so unlucky with the first 3 holes with the weather. Heaven seemed to open as soon as I got there, and everything was getting wet. Even the cameras, you can see from the clips. But in my eyes, this wasn't really a serious round. I obviously wanted to play golf, but I also mainly wanted to test something. The night before, I'd been to the simulator and recorded my swing, and I'd been watching it back, and I realised something pretty horrifying from watching my swing. You can see it here. I was coming over the top, and not by a little either, like aggressively coming over the top. And I always thought everything up until the follow through of my swing, it felt nice, it looked nice, but then this was it. This was the big issue, I think. And I honestly think this might be why simulator golf was feeling really good for me. But then the second I stepped onto the actual grass, everything completely fell apart. Simulator and driving range mats were kind of letting me get away with it, because as soon as that steep swing hit the grass, the contact from club to ball was minimal. Things were going wrong, balls were flying everywhere. Real golf just does not let you get away with that. So I had literally one thought going into this round, one thing I told myself to concentrate on. Focus on this one thing and nothing else. At the top of my swing, shallow, the club. Stop throwing my shoulder and my hips at the ball. Try to release my trail arm a bit before starting down. At the top of my swing, it causes my bicep to flex, so in my head I was like, I just need to technically unflex it, push it backwards a little bit, kind of just push it away from me, or push it away from my head at the top of my swing. And at first it was bad, as you can imagine. I think it's one of the most unrecommended things to have a new swing thought and go into a round of golf. Even a round of 19, realistically, you should just be going to the driving range to try something. When you play an actual golf, just play how you know how to play. Just do what feels natural. But yeah, it was bad. Like genuinely some of the worst golf I've played in a while. You know when you're trying a new feel or swing and your brain just completely malfunctions? Yeah, that. It was weird feelings, felt like I was hitting the ground way before the ball, and I'm talking like way before the ball, or even just topping it and missing the ball completely. Like, what the fuck is this? Keep topping him. Then, around 3/4 in of the 9 holes, something clicked. Unfortunately, it wasn't near the start. My swing suddenly felt effortless, like really easy all of a sudden. It's a beauty, that. Kind of like I just figured out how to not get stuck, which in my head I didn't even realise was an issue, but it obviously was an issue, because then as soon as I started feeling unstuck, everything started moving. And I wasn't necessarily swinging harder. If anything, I felt like I was swinging easier, but the club speed picked up, it felt faster. Contact with the ball felt cleaner, the balls were coming out straighter, and honestly some of my iron shots were probably the best they've been in months, and a lot of confidence came from that. Side note, my driver was still absolutely all over the planet. Putting was still a crime against golf. I genuinely think they're going to stop me being allowed to use one soon. But my irons, they felt pretty sweet. But too little too late. I'd already fried the majority of the round. We finished on 53 that day, which obviously isn't good. I know it's not good. But weirdly, I didn't care, because for the first time in a while, something actually felt different. Even though it was a shit round, I kind of left feeling a lot more confident, even though that sounds weird to say with such a bad score. Anyways, after that round, I was desperate to get back out there. I was desperate to get playing again. I'm like that anyways, even if I play shit, but still. Luckily, I already had an 18 booked at the weekend. 3-man stroke play, back at Willow where I'd previously just shot 101. And we all know I had a blow up on the last 3 holes and ended up scoring 25 across the 3, which it's even embarrassing to say at this point. But before that, midweek work needed to be done for my skill and for my sanity, because I just wanted to play golf. I didn't want to go into this round of 18 coming off that confident new swing feel that I wasn't fully in tune with yet. Like, I knew I could do it, I knew the feel, I knew the setup before the swing, but it wasn't easy to replicate, and I don't think it was something I could have just gone straight into another round of 18 and done. So midweek I hit the range, and honestly, this was probably the most confident I'd felt swinging a club in a while, especially my irons. Everything was starting online. Contact was pretty consistent. I think I shot over 90 balls that day, and I reckon it was less than 10% I ended up scuffing, which is a huge thing for me. The new swing actually felt good now. I managed to hit all the distances I'd normally expect to hit with all my irons, which was nice. Just kind of like rattle through them all, like smooth, like just hitting my numbers and feeling good with every club. But we know this kind of mindset's dangerous in golf, because the second that confidence appears, it's like the golf gods look down on you and think, we need to humble him immediately. I did have that worry in my head. But the 18 rolls round, Saturday morning. Morning, 18 holes. Can we break 95 today? Will we even break 100? That is a question, to be fair, because last time was a right mess. I think I got 101. And as you all probably know, every good round of golf starts with an overpriced coffee, even if it is from one of these little shitty machines. Now, I must preface, I didn't film the whole round of 18, mainly because I actually wanted to focus on scoring for once, instead of running back and forth between my trolley and the tripod, making sure I hit the shot, worrying about where the camera angle was, stuff like that. And getting into my head about filming, I only wanted one thing in my head, this new swing thought and the next shot. But I did still manage to get a few clips from the day, which I'll show you now.
There it is, picture.
Camera's out.
Yeah. I tried it anyway, fuck it. Big round today, so happy with that. We scored 95, pretty fucking buzzing with it, to be fair. Awful front nine, I think I scored like 50 something on the front nine. I'll put the score on the screen. And then the back nine just played like really well. Like, it just seemed like I was scoring good and I was like really happy with it.
Not perfect. I was a little bit annoyed on like the first 3 or 4 holes. I kept losing my ball, which I know it's very easy to blame, saying I can't find it in the grass and leaves, but if I'd have done really good shots, it wouldn't have been in the grass and leaves. But I did feel like I was getting slightly unlucky on them shots because I watched where the ball landed, but I just couldn't find it. But anyways, we don't need to worry about that. The golf that day, it wasn't perfect, definitely not pretty, but it was consistent. The iron shots carried me massively. Driver behaved okay, there was quite a few slices, but I did find it, and it just behaved how it normally would. But overall, it finally felt like a bit of decent golf. And I know there's probably going to be a lot of golfers watching this video thinking 95 sounds terrible. It's not even worth making a video about, real beginner status. But truthfully, this is kind of why I started documenting it all, because I want to look back on these rounds one day, when hopefully I'm better and finally breaking 90. And remember how hard this game actually is, and how far I've actually come. But yeah, that's episode 2 done of a beginner golfer trying to become a single digit handicap golfer. Honestly, I feel like we're finally moving in the right direction, but you let me know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think I'm moving in the right direction, or am I just the same as I was when you watched the previous video? Hopefully it's the former. But yeah, there's still loads to fix in my game and we'll get to that. But for now, let's just take the win with the swing feels of the irons.